Verbally Effective with Ina Esco is an interview-style podcast that intersects art, culture, politics, and entertainment with a Memphis focus. Each week, I'm joined by a featured guest with roots in Memphis. Verbally Effective delves into each guest's personal journey to uncover the incredible stories fueling their purpose, the highs and lows of their pursuits, and how through their passion, they are moving the culture forward.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Howard Q hanging out with Double E Ina Esco on the Verbally Effective podcast. Player.
Hey, it's your girl Shayna J with SJ Entertainment, here to fulfill all of your entertainment needs. And I'm with my girl Ina Esco with the Verbally Effective podcast.
Let's get into my amazing guest I have today. I have my good friend Michalyn Easter-Thomas in the building with me, and she hit me up. She was like, Ina, we had this amazing project that we're doing with Tom Lee Park, Memphis River Parks. And what's up, Michalyn? How are you, beautiful?
Hey, Ina, I'm doing well. Wonderful Tuesday.
Wonderful.
Glad to be here with you.
Yes. So a monument to listening. This is a huge project that you guys are doing for Tom Lee Park's art installation. So tell me about your involvement with this particular art installation.
So we had the opportunity to, with the Tom Lee Park's renovation and redoing, to actually add another art piece. So there's already Tom Lee's statue there. And we always pay homage to him, and the park is his namesake. But we wanted to add another layer of community, of conversation, of the ability to bring people together. And so we sanctioned out an art installation by renowned black artist Theaster Gates, hailing from Chicago. And he installed what's known as an anti-monument. And so we look at it and we interact with it differently than we would a particular regular statue we may see. Instead of looking up and oohing and eyeing and thinking of the great things that Tom Lee did and how heroism is so far away from our realities, we're able to dig into what that means for the average Memphian, for the average human, for the average person, and how can we find a way to help everyone think about themselves in the lens of Tom Lee, in the lens of Memphis, in the lens of blackness, in the lens of heroism, in the lens of those needing help, support, and collaboration. So we had the opportunity to bring along great groups in the city of Memphis to be able to activate that space, because just walking by, you may not be able to, see what's going on, see what it is, but really needing to see some tangibility on what's going on in that space.
Now, I've been in that space, and the renovations are simply amazing. It's giving me those rustic vibes. It's giving me, I want to go up under the canopy. It's giving me, I'm going to chill. I'm going to go to the restaurant. It's giving a lot of vibes. So it sounds like this particular project is bringing that creative piece to activate.
Yes.
And you're working with a lot of creatives, I understand,
yes,
artists.
And they're here with us today. I'm so happy to have a more public introduction of all of them and getting their commentary and feedback on why it's so important to have them a part of this project.
How many in total are there?
So
if you could.
For our guest curator groups, we have three. So we have Big We Foundation, we have Orpheum Theater Group, and we have Urban Arts Commission. Now, of those three groups, there are more people involved in them, and I'll let them give a list out of who's involved. But those three groups were the ones that we selected to be our kickoff for the guest curation.
And how did you make that selection?
So we invited a large group of creatives to have a first look at the installation, and just to get their feedback, just to get their immediate commentary on what this means to them in Memphis, and can they see themselves bringing this alive for other Memphians. And so for those who answered the call, we will be talking with them today, Ina. And they're setting the way and setting the foundation for curators that will be to come for our annual curator program that'll kick off in 2024.
And one thing about it, Memphis is deeply rooted in artists and creatives. So I'm glad you guys get to work on this project and activate like it should be done.
Like it should be.
Okay, and we're going to start off with one of these creatives. I have Mr. Fenton Wright in the building. Hi, Fenton.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I am wonderful. So let's talk about your contribution to A Monument to Listening, Fenton.
Okay, well, while I appreciate creativity, I'm representing the creatives, the true creatives in this work. So,
Okay.
But the Big We Foundation is a creative cultural strategy organization. And our focus is to build communities that are safe, joyful, loving, and abundant. And part of that work is what we call restorative economics. It is, the restoration and healing of disenfranchised or marginalized communities. But we think that the creative, particularly the Black creative, is the most empowered and equipped to do that. So our Southern Shift Initiative program is a compilation or a collaboration of creatives that we identified that's already doing the work that we set out to do in total. So we want to package that, bring them all together, and be able to duplicate that throughout the Black Southern cities of this region. So we're starting here in Memphis because, as you mentioned, Memphis has a lot of creativity that is homegrown, and certainly we have an environment that is conducive to growing and to developing. And so we have that group of individuals who have come together, and they thought that this would be a great idea and opportunity for us to serve as guest curators. So
awesome.
I'm speaking for the whole.
You're speaking for the whole.
Yep.
So let's dig into some of those creatives because before we got on the mic, you mentioned a few of them to me, which I know they are extremely talented and amazing in providing Memphis with just different experiences. So let's talk about some of those artists under your umbrella.
Okay. We have Taliba Safaya. I'll say creative extraordinaire. She's not just a singer, songwriter, but and also Bertram Williams. We have Dame Mufasa is a part of our group. I Make Mad Beats. Victoria Jones.
Okay.
Kelvin Colheim with Beale Street Brewery. Bart Jones and Renata Henderson of Coffee Black. Princeton James, and our founder and creator, Anasa Troutman.
Okay. You got some cool people.
David Quarles, Marthias Wade, Christina McCarter. I don't want to leave anyone out. Pat Mitchell Worley, who represents, Soulsville Foundation, and Karan Samuels. I think that is the list in total.
I like that list.
Yeah, it's a great list. So these folks are either nonprofit leaders, developers, or what we call cultural entrepreneurs. They are in the marketplace. They're doing things with their creativity or using their creativity to promote their products and services in ways that are intentional, but also with a creative and I would say a community mindset. So it's not just they're trying to sell a certain thing or do a certain thing creatively. They have they are well intended to build community while they do it and serve community. So it's been a pleasure working with these folks for the past several months. But they're an all-star squad. So
yes, that is an
really
all-star
introduction,
squad.
right?
Right. So as it relates to Thomley Park, have any of those artists have they created experiences or have made activations inside the park yet?
There have been a couple, and they've been primarily led by Taliba and Bertram. And Coffee Black has contributed along with some of the others. But knowing just the name itself, I think the title itself excited the group as Bertram brought it to us, and we started talking about what does listening look like, who's listening, and who are we listening to. So it provides an opportunity for them to express the need for listening as a part of community building and community wellness and connecting. So we're excited about the things that they've been able to do, and also some of the things that we have planned to do as we look ahead.
What do you have planned to do? I'm all in your business. Yeah, I need the exclusive, Fenton.
So I will say, this coming Sunday.
Oh,
So we have what we're calling a play date. For at the Monument to Listening. It is from 3 to 5 at Thomley Park at the Monument to Listening. That play date is bring what you play, whether that is an instrument, a game, or something in between. So ways that we interact and build community through play and skillful engagement.
Awesome. So how long will A Monument to Listening, what is the duration of this? Is this ongoing?
Well, the monument itself is permanent. It will be there.
Gotcha.
Our work, I think, extends through the end of this calendar year, but certainly we will be available for those other guest curators that come throughout the times to come.
Okay. Wow. So we have Fenton Wright in the building representing the Big We. And I have with me two more creatives, Gabrielle and Jennifer. How are you, beautiful ladies?
Hi. Hello. Good afternoon. Good morning, I guess. So.
Is it morning? Yes, we're going to say it's morning. It's brunch time, right? How are you ladies doing today?
Really good. Thank you. Happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yes. Well, let's start with you, Jennifer, sitting immediately to my left. Let's talk about your contribution to A Monument to Listening.
Yes, so I am leading the charge with the Orpheum Theater Group's activation, but I do not do that alone. I think it's really important to say that from the jump. We are so fortunate to have our team of Orpheum Education and Community Engagement staff and our army of teaching artists, our frontline workers who are out in the community doing the work of engaging young people, senior citizens, communities in the arts. And we have all banded together and had the opportunity to activate the monument. Our first kickoff was at the opening of the park weekend. And we spent some time focusing, as was already said, around the idea of heroism and what it means for us as an everyday living, breathing human to be a hero in our own lives every day to better serve Memphis, to better serve our communities. And so as we are an arts and theater organization, we led everybody through what we call our Actors Tools warm-up, where we warmed up our bodies and our voices and our imaginations. And once we had all of those tools in play, we collaborated with the human beings in that space to create living statues that honored the idea of what it means to be a hero or what it feels like to serve as a hero.
I know that was quite an experience.
You know,
to be a living statue.
It was amazing. I think it was beautiful. It was truly a beautiful expression of not only our artists, but the way that the community stepped right in and activated. I was just talking to Gabrielle beforehand about how we're all so busy in our everyday lives, and it's really beautiful when we can just take a minute to sort of tap into our humanity and say, how can I create? How can I be creative in this moment? How can I listen to others through the act of them creating, and how that listening is often a radical act, and to be able to do that with complete strangers in a space collaborating around this central idea and then reflect and listen and learn from one another was really, really inspiring and also just a lot of fun. We had a really nice time.
Yes. You know what? I love the, I would say the diverse direction that the Orpheum has been taking, because you guys have really been coming up with some amazing shows with some amazing creatives that I've worked with for the past 20 years. They're actually, doing shows in the community at the Orpheum. Like, who would have thought that I would get on the Orpheum stage with my talent? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's amazing what the Orpheum is doing. Who are some of the artists that you work with for this Monument to Listening?
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for that. That really means a lot. We're working hard over there.
I
I need to say thank you and gratitude for that, because we are working hard. But yes, we have incredible artists like Taylor St. John. Takasha White is our resident teaching artist. Lena Wallace Black, Verity Huang. We've got local poets like Bria Brown and Karen Malone, Righteous Soul, Sakita Monique.
Yes.
Who am I leaving out? Kenya. Really an entire roster of truly incredible artists. Calvin Barnes, the list goes on and on and on, and we are really fortunate to have found, like you said, so many local artists that have been willing to say yes, because it is a change, we have to talk about that, right? We have to talk about the fact that it is a change, and the fact that so many people have been willing to say yes and see that work and come with us on that journey. We are humbled by that and grateful, because I always say our teaching artists and those artists are really like our frontline workers. They are the people out in the community saying, hey, we're doing things a little bit differently now, and it's really about making it accessible to everybody, and sort of holding space for everybody. And at the end of the day, we are not only wanting to entertain, educate, and enlighten, which is part of our mission, but we're also wanting to say the arts can just make us all better human beings, right? We can breathe together, we can feel empathy together, we can learn, we can heal a little bit sometimes. And so I'm really grateful to all those artists, because they are the ones on the front line doing that work.
Indeed. How has Memphis been responding to some of the changes that you all have been making?
We see people showing up a lot, which means the world. I always say community engagement is showing up, right? We have to take time to build trust, to build relationships. And so we are trying to really show up for a lot of people. And when we see them showing up for us, I think that lets us know that we are doing the work. I think the sheer fact that Michalyn and the good folks over at Memphis River Parks invited us to be a part of that. I mean, we were honored and humbled in a way that, it was truly like, wow, I'm so grateful that we've been asked to be a part of it. So I think just the way that we're able to be in more spaces, reach more people, learn from more people, listen to more people, and also to amplify the good work. The Orpheum is turning 95 years old this year, which is a big deal.
That's a big deal. What an accomplishment.
Thank you. We're very happy about that, but it's also our job as sort of a big behemoth in the community, right, to use our platform to be able to amplify all of the other good work that for whatever reason maybe hasn't always gotten the spotlight or the attention that we have had, but that has absolutely always been here and always been happening. And so it's really exciting for us at the Orpheum when we can partnership with folks like the River Parks or Urban Art Commission or Casa Teatro Bilingual Theater Group or whoever, Memphis Black Arts Alliance or whoever it might be, to help uplift and support the work that is already being done. That's when it's a win for us. So it's a pleasure and an honor, and I'm really grateful to be a part of this project.
Yes, I'm gonna put you on the spot for a minute. When you got the call from Michalyn about this new project, how did you immediately respond? Was like, okay, what am I going to do with a monument to listening? Or was it a collective effort from the artists that you work with at the Orpheum? Was it something easy to incorporate?
It was absolutely a collective effort. If I'm honestly answering your question, when we first got the call, I thought, we have to do this. We don't have any time to do this. How are we going to figure this out, right? Because we're running over 20 education and community engagement programs, but sometimes we have to prioritize, and we knew that this opportunity was too good to pass up. It was really a gift, and I think you're absolutely right that when we put the collective of artists in the space and sort of identify common objectives of like, okay, what's the goal? The beauty is that we have such incredible teaching artists that we've invested in and that I think are really invested in us, that we can say, all right, here's the objective. Y'all are the brilliant minds in this space. What does this need to look like? And we often have more ideas than we know what to do with. Just last week, we did a different activation led by Takasha White, our resident teaching artist, dealing with the ebb and flow of the water of the river and the way that that communities ebb and flow together. And then we've got 2 more activations coming up in November and December with Righteous Soul, leading some poetry workshops, which we're super jazzed about.
Shout out to Righteous Soul.
Yes, one of my favorite artists in the city. And it's really, really lovely to have these incredible artists leading the charge. So absolutely a collective, and we're just grateful every day for the artists that keep giving back to the Orpheum so that we can continue to serve.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for enlightening us with the amazing work that the Orpheum is doing in Memphis and with a monument to listening with Memphis River Parks. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Yes. So now we have my girl, Miss Gabrielle, in the building. Gabrielle, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Lovely to see you today.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I'm so glad we got to meet even a little bit before this.
Yes, we were actually at Tom Lee Park at the Link Up. Big shout outs to Milton, Memphis. And we connected and you told me about the amazing work that you're doing and how you want everyone to know about it. So let's talk about your contribution to a monument to listening.
So I am Gabrielle. I work at Urban Art Commission, and so in this space, I have been fortunate to represent in my corporate sphere at Urban Art Commission, and also a little bit of representation of my own artistry, creativity, a highlight of another artist on our staff, Richard Eccles, and his creativity, and so just a big lift of a lot of artists, a lot of our community members coming together to help bring this programming to life. Our contribution to A Monument to Listening started with a thought of how do we listen beyond our normal auditory perception? You know, what are we doing to engage with communities in which maybe they're listening in a different way, maybe through body language, through facial expression. And so through that process, we have been able to create a performance art piece, to engage with a sign language workshop. We have an upcoming sound bath installation. And so we've just been trying to do things in which we were maybe approaching listening in a different way. And so it's just been really wonderful to collaborate with 2 additional organizations who picked up, I think, different arms, different branches of how to engage fully with this piece. And so I think it's been beautiful in combination to talk about the heroism of the piece, who it's about, who it represents, the neighborhood that our original Tom Lee hero is from, being able to engage with a community who didn't have access to that park for so long through segregation and so many other factors, right? And so being able to pay homage to the community that hero even was raised up in, where he got his morals from, to be able to reach out and save those people, right? That's community strength in itself, and being able to have this beautiful piece that Theaster gifted Memphis to continue on creating these beautiful community opportunities to craft and build up and strengthen new heroes for Memphis.
Yes, and we have quite a few heroes in the city of Memphis. I was listening to some of the projects you said that you guys are doing. You said sound bath listening. What is that?
So our beautiful instructor, Caroline Collins, actually, this is our second time being able to work with her in this capacity. She worked with us on a really big exhibition that happened earlier this year called the Tennessee Triennial for Contemporary Arts. And so it lasted the first half of this year, and we did a sound bath installation in which she came into our office space, and she's playing these crystal sound baths, and they're activating your chakras and your internal spirit, and just doing something that engages people in a different way. It's a little bit of a vulnerable experience, right? You're laying there with your eyes closed on a yoga mat with a bunch of people you don't know, and this time it's outside, right? So you're exposed to the elements. You might hear a child run by, you might hear a basketball being whizzed around, but it is this safe space in which art is happening, in which healing is happening. We're engaging, we're feeling the vibrations, we're watching the sunset. It's taking place at 6 p.m. So it's going to be a beautiful experience, and I'm just grateful to be able to do this very intentional programming around something that maybe people sometimes take for granted. Public art, it is this monumental sculpture or mural project that you may walk past every day and not really think about the intentionality behind it. I think Urban Art Commission's mission is community-based public art, and so getting a chance to again highlight the different ways in which public art can take place, that it can be a performance piece curated by the Orpheum. It can be a cipher done by the Big We Corporation, and Coffee Black coming in to provide a nourishing drink or a snack. Those are a shared meal is public art. A shared experience is that, and it's been amazing to be able to highlight such a beautiful piece.
Amazing. This is just very eye-opening of, the different ways we can listen. Like you opened up with, you all were trying to discover different ways that people on an auditory level listen, because it's different ways. What has been the most surprising way that you've discovered people like to listen?
I think that question, I take it to the sign language workshop that we had. That was very impactful for me because I was so stressed about making sure that it happened in the perfect way and it was coordinated. And I was working with Bridges West, which is a wonderful organization that provides free interpreters and free opportunities to connect community members who are deaf and hard of hearing and need representation or a voice or an interpreter. They provide those services and then also offer sign language workshops. And so just hearing the reflectiveness of the questions being asked by the attendees and watching people who were literally just in the park walk up to be a part of this thing because, it was something that you saw, people gathered in this space. And so it felt probably like, oh, what's going on there? And so thinking about that, people having this question and wanting to know more and wanting to come into a space in which they must have felt like it was safe to do that, right? It must have felt like I'm drawn in a positive way. And so that to me was insightful and just also the connections that were formed of hearing people in the community tell their story, be okay with asking questions. I think even that helps build connection, right? Of just understanding that other people are living and experiencing life in a totally different way than you, and that it might be okay to factor that in, to think about that, to put yourself in someone else's shoes every now and then.
Yes, that's amazing. That's amazing. Gabrielle, tell me some artists that you would like to shed some light on that are involved in this project that you have not mentioned.
There are so many that I have leaned on. I'm thankful to, one, be an artist and be plugged into the artist community in a way that sometimes I mooch, sometimes I just ask people, hey, can you come donate your time to me? I know that I may not have much to compensate, because that's what we're about at UAC specifically, is we make sure that artists are getting paid for their work. And so that has been something to contend with too, of asking friends for donations of time, like an in-kind donation, versus being able to compensate and being able to work that out in a way that feels mutually beneficial to all of us participating. But shout out to them for that. I want to say a special thank you to Judah Izell, who is capturing the work. So the first performance piece we had is called Point of Reflection, and it is in relation to the two sites on the sculpture. There's a point of reflection and a point of redemption. And so we played like a virtual version of telephone, in which people had to reflect a message and try to see how far that went. And so he got that on drone footage, and so it's this beautiful representation of people dressed in monochrome color, and they're moving, and the crowd comes in and tries to participate in a way. And so that was a very beautiful experience that we're running back in November again. So I'm thankful for that. Some of our dancers were people that I've leaned on, from collage dance, from tone, from so many other beautiful arts organizations who are doing the work. And so shout out to them. I don't want to name anybody by name specifically, because I don't want to miss anyone.
I understand.
But yeah, you can find all of their information on our website. You can find links to their Instagrams to see more of what they're doing, programming such as tapped in events, of course, the beautiful programming happening at Tone itself, and all of the artists that they work to uplift and highlight every day. They have an upcoming exhibition on the 21st. So yeah, it's just, I think, again, shout out to what Jen was saying earlier about just the opportunity for collaboration here. I think Memphis River Parks has done a wonderful job of giving space to collaborate and just partner, and we're all doing this work, so why not do it together?
Amazing. Thank you so much, Gabrielle, with Urban Arts Commission, doing the good work. Thank you, Jennifer, with the Orpheum Memphis, for, just telling us about the amazing work that you guys are doing with the Monument to Listening. Any final words from you two ladies? Then I'm going to throw it back to Michalyn as we close. Any shout outs or, any final words that you would like to say about this particular project and your hopes and your dreams and what you feel the outcome should be from this particular contribution?
I would just offer that I hope people continue to come out and support not only this project, but all of the incredible things that Memphis River Parks is doing in the parks. They have so many wonderful programs every day, and they're free and they're accessible, and we need to take advantage of them. So I honor them for that. And also to just encourage the world to, that listening is a radical act, and just taking a little bit more time to listen to one another, to engage in the arts in general. And thank you for lifting up the arts and all of the things that we're doing, Ina, because that is necessary to get the word out. So yeah, just to encourage people to tap into that humanity, because I think when we all do that, it helps to mitigate a lot of the stress and complications that we're navigating in the world on a daily basis.
Thank you, Jennifer. With the Orpheum Memphis, Gabrielle, any final words?
I would just say that in the spirit of collaboration, I agree and co-sign with everything that Jennifer just said. I think it really is about being able to collaborate and continue to see people engaging with the work, and that it really is rewarding to see people show up. I think that is how we know. That's a great measure of knowing that we're doing something right.
Yes, you guys are doing so many things right, and we appreciate the good work that you are doing. Jennifer mentioned tap into humanity, and we really need that right now. The world is worlding. I will say that. That's all I'm going to say about that on the Verbally Effective podcast today. But thank you so much for your contributions. And big shout outs to Memphis River Parks. Michalyn, let's scoot on one of these mics and get some final words from you from the Memphis River Parks. And I'm so glad that we all connected today.
Yes.
This has been truly amazing. And to just, like Gabrielle said, see people show up and participate, like, it really feels good inside. Like, people are really loving this project, Michalyn.
Yes, and we just hope that with the introduction at the Parks grand opening that just happened on Labor Day weekend, that we can just continue to grow and grow, not just the awareness, but like you said, the love and the understanding, so that 10 years from now, 15 years from now, everybody in Memphis will understand what a monument to listening is. The same way as we regard MLK Reflection Park that's off of 2nd, Slave Haven, that is a pillar in our community in which we go to learn about the Underground Railroad. So we just want to be able to contribute to this overall communal conversation around Memphis's history.
Yes, and this will go on throughout the end of this year.
So our guest curators, who we just had a chance to talk to today, will be curating activations to the end of this calendar year. But hopefully they will still extend their support and expertise to the curators that are to come on for 2024 and even 2025. So we want to give more opportunity for individuals to be able to produce activations and bring folks together at the art installation.
Have you already selected the new curators for 2024?
We have not. So
Okay.
we will be putting out a call soon within the fall. And hopefully folks will, again, accept the call and choose to be a part. And we can select a great group. And it's going to go through the entire year. And so it'll really be a good look for the city of Memphis and creatives. And I do want to stress that creatives isn't just art, right? It's whatever you can be able to produce and put out that brings people together in an out-of-the-box way.
Oh, I have some ideas.
Yes.
I have some ideas.
You're a creative yourself, Anna.
Yes. Now, let me ask you this, Michalyn. How can people accept the call? Where are they going to hear the call or see the call?
So we will, as we do, we're putting out information on, our social media pages. So Memphis River Parks, follow us on Facebook, Instagram. And also you can go to tomleepark.org because the art installation is specifically at Tom Lee Park. So you will see all information about our art installation, our activations, especially the one coming up Friday by Urban Arts Commission and Sunday by Big We, and the ones for the rest of the year, which also include Orpheum Theater Group along with the other two for the year. So social media, we make it easy.
Yes.
At Memphis River Parks.
And I like how y'all, got your social media working, baby. Like Memphis River Parks, y'all getting real creative with them reels. I'm like, okay, who's managing their social media? Is it you?
It is not me. I do not. That is not my ministry. I wish it was so that I could put out the offering basket on that.
Not the offering basket.
Yes.
Okay.
But we have, and their name escapes me, but the young lady that does it was actually on the commercial as we were leading into your podcast, Renee.
Okay. I love her
Renee
voice.
is doing our reels.
Yes.
I didn't know she could sing till I just heard that lead in. So I'm like,
WYXI.
okay.
Oh, she's singing. She's singing.
So Renee is the one who's helping get us on our social media tip.
Okay. Now, you guys got a lot of different stuff going on.
We
over
have
there
a
at Memphis
lot
River
of
Parks.
wonderful things going
Yes.
on because Memphis has a lot of things going on.
That's
So
true.
we're going to bring all those things and all those people and all those experiences and all those viewpoints, bring them right on down
Right
to
on
the new
down.
Tom Lee Park, and we can be all Memphis together.
We're going to be all Memphis together.
Yes.
Michalyn Easter-Thomas, thank you for, just giving us all of this wonderful information today about a monument to listening. And everybody go to their websites, their socials with Memphis River Parks to check it out. And I have to mention this, Michalyn, because you work over there at Memphis River Parks. I see you all have a new festival happening. Can you speak to that with Mempho? Is it true?
I will say that the organizers who organize Mempho are bringing a new type of festival.
Oh, so
to
it's
the
not
park
necessarily
in May.
Mempho.
So it's not necessarily Mempho, but the
Okay.
organizers at Mempho have put out a request to rent out the venue, rent out the park to do a music festival in May.
Okay.
So we're all learning all of this information together.
Yes.
And so when they put out what it's going to look like, who's going to be there, we'll all be able to see it at the same time. But
Yeah.
so it's not Mempho Fest.
Gotcha.
But it is the organizers from Mempho.
Well, thank you for clarifying that today. I will leave that there. And it's good to have different experiences, right? Just like a monument to listening.
Yeah.
And the people that you've been working with, the Big Weed, the Orpheum Urban Arts Commission. It's good to have a diverse set of and newcomers to the park. That's what it's all about.
Right, bringing everybody down, all Memphis together.
All Memphis together. Any final words, Michalyn Easter-Thomas?
Well, Ina, I just want to thank you for allowing us this platform to just share what we're doing. As you know, there are a lot of things going on at the park. The park is vast. It's huge.
It's
huge. Has so many wonderful features that you can take part of, and this is just one aspect that we wanted to highlight. So I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to highlight it. And then also just thanking our guest curators for their hard work, their creativity, and their dedication thus far with their activations, Urban Arts Commission, Orpheum Theater Group, and Big We Foundation. So I'm just grateful to not have to figure out these things by myself.
Yes.
It's all about collaboration and working together and partnership, and the guest curators make that easy, and people like you make that easy. You know?
Well, thank you so much, Michalyn. You've put a great team together.
Aren't they wonderful?
Yes, they
Aren't
are.
they wonderful?
Big shout outs to Fenton, to Jennifer, and Gabrielle for coming out today and really setting the tone for this particular project. So whoever come in 2024 got some big shoes to fill.
Yeah, we got some heavy hitters now, but like you said, Memphis is full of them.
They full of them. This Memphis, man. Well, thank you so much, Michalyn Easter-Thomas from over there at Memphis River Parks. We truly appreciate you for coming in today as a guest for the Verbally Effective podcast, bringing your amazing creators, curators as well. And make sure you head to Memphis River Parks website and socials to check out all the activations that they have coming up. Thank you so much, Michalyn.